Hello and welcome, folks, to another exciting edition Michigan Panthers podcast. Couple for the people right there. Best watch out because
You're in the jungle now, baby.
I am your host as always, FBI Tugboat.
Made out with a tugboat.
Let's hop on into this one already. 19-second transition, 20-second intro. I think it's about the shortest. Now, folks, it is May 29th here, Thursday. I am in the process of moving. I had to host my parents here in Las Vegas this past weekend, and so I watched the DC game. That was actually it. The DC Houston game right there. So I actually didn't get to watch this game, watch the highlight. I didn't get to watch all of this game, watch the highlights. As you can see here, though, Michigan Panthers 22, Birmingham Stallions 26. We lose by 4 again, but that's just what happens. It's we have never beat this team, regular season, playoffs, either of them. Playoffs were secured a couple weeks ago, so this was a game that didn't matter. They did not pull starters. We did, only losing by 4, which is exactly what we've done in the past. Does lead me to have a little bit of confidence about this. I'm not gonna lie. Well, Michigan Panthers playing the Birmingham Stallions.
Were it so easy?
Were it so freaking easy? Oh well, let's hop on into the numbers.
What does it mean?
Yeah, it's just what happens. Ultimately, like I said, a week that didn't matter right here, and especially with Bryce Perkins nursing a right ankle injury, if memory serves, it just makes sense to have a man named Danny Etling playing. He looked great last week against the Houston Roughnecks, beat them down into the dirt. I believe that was, 22-13, 22-12, something like that? No, it was more than that. It was like 30-12, 30. I don't exactly remember, and it doesn't matter. We're doing the week 9 review, the week 10 preview here. This is honestly a great defense. I'll talk about defense in a second. Honestly, J'Mar Smith looked freaking great. Honestly, I feel like J'Mar Smith looked like the best quarterback they've had behind center this year. Alex Magoo had his time, was absolutely fantastic. Did not perform this season whatsoever in the same way that we've seen Alex Magoo just absolutely set the UFL on fire before. Simple as that. Time takes a toll on us all, maybe. Maybe it's just other teams, other players, or the coaches getting used to his play style, kind of figuring him out a little bit more. I don't know. I'm no football mastermind like that. Whatever it is, I know that Alex Magoo has not been playing the same, especially within the UFL side of the conference, did not play the same that he has in the past. Taking a look, Toa right here, the human bowling ball. They love using that one. Incorporating Nate McCreary a lot more in here, too. Honestly, I got nothing to complain really about this run game. 3.8 from our main running back, Danny Etling, busting off a couple right there. Little sneaky runs. 5 average on 3 attempts. Nate McCreary, 9 for 44 on just shy of 5. This is nothing to complain about. This provided a lot of the preview that we saw. And as you'll see, we did air the ball out a lot. 39 attempts right there, completing 59% of them. If this number was different, I would have said this is a more middling performance from Danny Etling. 60% ain't too bad, just shy of the 100 rating. 235 yards through the air. Again, not really something to complain about, and especially in a game that ultimately did not matter. Now, Sayosi targeted 5 times, caught the ball 5 times. My man, 114 with a tutty, along with 45 as well. Really, this number and this number being the same, the targets to catches, is really way more important to me than say this number being above 100, right? This could still be 80. Yeah, this will be 80 or 90, and I'd still be really, really happy if if this number was a little bit shorter, right? Yards after catch, obviously, just busting them off right here. Sayosi Manor doing a fantastic job. Jalon Moore, catching a ball just outside, just a hair outside the end zone, right? Got both feet down, but it's literally just, not a hair, honestly. It was about 6 inches, but that was the one target he did not make right there, so we'll forgive it. Malik Turner dropping a couple of them, 4 and 30, nothing bad right there. Now Cole Hicatini getting absolutely peppered. This is where the concern starts to come in, because our tight ends have played that pressure relief valve for Perkins very, very well across several weeks, and they need to continue doing that now towards the end of the season, obviously, and especially not this upcoming weekend, the week 10 that again do not really matter, but next weekend after that, not this upcoming weekend, May 31st, but the weekend after that, June 7th, for the USFL conference playoffs. Excuse me. Gunnar Oaks caught his only one right on the red zone, right there for the tutty as well. Some fantastic stuff right here. Nate McCreary and Devin Ross both not catching theirs. Devin Ross popped off last week, excuse me. But with Danny Etling, they have that connection. Just makes sense. Take a look. Talk a little bit about the Stallions passing, rushing, and receiving before we talk about the defense. Didn't really have to throw the ball very much, did he? Did not really have to throw the ball very much. 10% higher completion, 11%, 12%, excuse me, higher percent completion right here, and breaking that 300 burger. Very nice. 123.9er. Just shy of 124 right there on the QB rating there for Jamar Smith. Jamar Smith also busting these off right here. Larry Roundtree coming in and making a statement, right? This I'm not surprised at, and we'll check it on the defense, but a lot of these TFLs were on a man named CJ Marable. This is also, if I remember right, where the forced fumble was onto CJ Marable. Now, talking about the arm of Jamar Smith, this is really, really what won the game for them, right? I mean, yes, it's the same amount of touchdowns literally through here and then just one more on the ground, but this was the real difference maker right here, the passing game. Cade Johnson just tore us up a new one, but really it was Deon Cain just getting to where he needed to be. This, I'm not sure if that number is accurate. Oh yeah, it was 19 yards because it was in the end zone, right? That was great right there. Amari Rogers caught one for no gain and then caught the second for 32 yards, targeted on 5 times. So our short game, our passes less than 20 yards, I feel like we did a pretty good job. Again, we'll talk about it on the defensive side and talk about some of the passes broken up and stuff. No interceptions for either of these quarterbacks, but it was the long game that really burned us. Amari Rogers 32, Jalen Camp 47, Cade Johnson 57, and then the short ones, the dink and dunks right here to Deon Cain. He really just tore us up one. Davion Davis looking good as well. Jordan Thomas is that tight end, targeted once, caught once. Again, kind of doing the same sort of thing right here. Jay Sternberger is really taking a back seat in that tight end role. Again, folks, time is undefeated. Let's take a look over here at the defense. Noah Dawkins now. A name I don't see here is Breland Speaks. And again, guys, I did not watch the entire game, but a name I do not see over here is Breland Speaks. And I'm a little bit surprised about that. Very, very glad that Noah Dawkins is out here. Top of the total tackles. Absolutely love that. Kenny Wilkes down a little bit farther right here. Kenny H. Lovely. The Kenny and Kenny squad right here. Ron Stone had some fantastic plays, as you can see here. Both are 2 of these 3 sacks as well. Now, we had the same. No. They had 2 sacks. We had 3. They had 3 tackle for losses total with the 2 sacks. And then, tackling a running back behind the line, whereas we had 5. So honestly, I'm pretty happy about that. The broken up passes here, their secondary definitely got to us, but the other big difference maker here defensive-wise was the forced fumble there from Benning, and then picked up and ran back a solid distance that we would go forth and turn into points from Adonis Alexander. That was the real turning point of this game until the last couple of minutes, right? And then we march right up to the end zone, spend, I think, 3 plays right there, and time expires. Try for on the 4th, down by 4. If you're down by 3, then we kick a field goal and go to overtime and all kinds of fun stuff, especially in a situation that Birmingham took a nasty L against the Memphis Showboats, right? Excuse me. Took a nasty L against the Memphis Showboats in overtime. I would not be surprised if Skip Holtz and the rest of the Birmingham Stallions do not want to go back to that. Other side, honestly, a lot of these numbers look really similar, right? Noah Dawkins gets a tackle for loss. Tizino here, 7 tackles, 5 solo, gets a sack. 2 TFLs though, so got another hit behind the line. Noah Dawkins got the pass broken up. Tizino did not. Honestly, not disappointed with how we played, right? The 2 losses here both coming to the Birmingham Stallions in a game that didn't matter. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit. Well, you know what? I'll go back and we can review. What in the hell? There we go. We can review this upcoming week here. Keys to this game. Why aren't they going to show? I guess you can't really look at the live stats, can you? All right. Well, sorry. Keys to this game. Let's go across let's look at the league stats while we talk about this. We're 9 minutes in. Yeah, it's going to be a shorter one today. Cyrus and Man are sneaky up at the top right there, even beating out Chris Rowland and Deon Cain and Justin Hall. Now those receptions are definitely going the way of Justin Hall, but yes. The keys to this game is going to be on the ground, right? This what's his name? Darn it. Not Zaquan. Oh, excuse me. Not Zaquan. God damn it. Not Zaquan J. Wright, but position. Come on, where you at? There you go, Lorenzo Lingard. This guy right here. This guy tore up defensive lines. Honestly, did a fantastic job. That's so there's going to be kind of a dual threat here from the Houston Roughnecks. Obviously, shutting down Justin Hall and allowing him. I mean, double-digit receptions is insane in this league. Shutting him down will be big, but the lesson to take away from this Birmingham Stallions game is that we have to protect against the big ball, the long ball, the deep ball a little bit better. Justin Hall is going to eat us alive in this game. It doesn't matter. Frank Ginda still hasn't played in how many games? Hasn't played in 2 games and still 5th on the total tackles leader. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. Do love that. Yeah, Houston's actually towards the bottom of the barrel when it comes to yards per game right there, so they're going to be looking to improve upon that. Where's Houston over here? Yeah, they've only gotten 7. My goodness. We're 1 off from the St. Louis Battlehawks right there as far as the leaderboards. Houston, they'll get it done through the air. I like McClendon, and I like what he's been doing. He's got a little up and giddy up to him, a little giddy up in his step, right? And not exactly any Bryce Perkins, who's hands down the best quarterback in this league, no questions about it. Once when he's healthy, of course. But this is gonna be Toa and Nate McCreary on one side, Zaquandre Wright and Lingard on the other side, and I think that's where this game is going to be decided. And I guess you can't really say it doesn't matter because this is the last game for the 2025 UFL season for the Houston Roughnecks. C.J. Johnson, you guys know how I feel about him, but at the end of the day, he is a football coach, and he's not going to stop playing. He's not going to stop coaching until that whistle blows at 000s, right? So I do respect that a lot, and I do think this is going to be a good game. Possibly. Honestly, this might be one of the better ones of the week. No, sorry, Arlington and San Antonio. No, excuse me, St. Louis and D.C. The preview of the XFL divisional or conference matchup. That's going to be cool and all, but we already know that Delelio, I don't think I'm saying his name right, is going to be coming in and starting for the D.C. Defenders. So I'd love to see. I mean, the St. Louis Battle Chickens, they establish it. They are XFL rival. They can lose in the first round. Actually, I don't want them to lose in the first round of the playoffs. Nothing against you, DC. I want to beat them in the UFL championship. 100%. I have a serious thought that we can do this against the Birmingham Stallions, and I really do. And I would love to see a little matchup right there. Your own coach said he was glad that Bryce Perkins didn't play that entire game. How about you? Okay, how about this? You want the unfiltered, full, 3 weeks of healthy rest from Bryce Perkins, coming hot off a USFL divisional championship win against the Birmingham Stallions for the first time for Mike Nolan. That would make us 1-8. 1-8. One win, 8 losses. Yeah, y'all don't want none of that. Y'all don't want any of that. Max Duggan is gonna get sacked 3 times. I really want that game. And yes, I'm talking smack right now. I'm talking a lot of smack. You know what, y'all? I got the
magic legs.
See how that goes. I'd really like to see this. But yeah. So as far as excitement for these games, I can't imagine Birmingham. If Abram Smith is not, or if Jamar Smith is not 100%, I don't expect to see them here. Memphis has already announced that they're going to be playing Dresser Wynn and EJ Perry, even though I think Dresser Wynn can show a little bit better legs and a little bit better arm and a little bit better game sense, pretty much a little bit better overall in general. EJ Perry did great things for us. Wish you well. Don't think he's the same player that he has been. Yeah, this Friday game is probably going to be the best here, right? Just watching 2 defenses who are definitely middle of the road, more so rely on their offenses, go forth and do battle, right? There's also a little bit to be said for, might be taking a little easy peasy right here. So, wow, look at that pass. Well, granted, Max Duggan obviously came in for the QB1 role, but 2,000 yards in 9 weeks, 591 on the other side. Jacob Saylor's 500 across 9 weeks. What is that, 50 a week? That's really not that impressive. Neither for Deion Jackson. Hakeem Butler, the big guy right there. Chris Rowland, I think number 2 on the overall receptions. I mean, we saw that with Siosi, old Siosi Mariner taking spot numero uno. Bryce Perkins gets 13-13 in 6. Insane, bro. We are so much better than when we want to play. We're so much better than everyone else. I'll walk that back, dude. I'll walk that back if we need to. Clip it, whatever you want to do with me saying that right there. But I really do feel like we are so much better than every other team in this. Yeah, like the DC game. I don't know. I just learned a lot about this team across the season. And Bryce Perkins, I said it last year, said it again this year. I'm not saying it now because we want him healthy for the playoffs, right? But I'm really glad. I know I've decried Danny Etling a whole lot. I'm really glad that he's playing really well. I hope this is not the worst possible situation where he plays well, and then Mike Nolan once again is just like, with this love affair with Danny Etling in his mind, is just like, oh, he played well. Maybe we should split carries again, because it's just not comparable, okay? It's just not comparable. If you put Bryce Perkins in his games against the Houston freaking Roughnecks, he'd look like Jesus Christ himself too, right? Whatever. It is what it is. Bryce Perkins shouldn't play this week. He should play the entirety, 100%, unless he gets injured next week and in the UFL championship if we make it there. This would be a really good game. I honestly think this would be a decent game. Two teams that got nothing else to play for, right? Last game of the season here. And again, I like the Alamo Dome. I went there, had a fantastic time. Big shout out to Josh, everyone else over there in San Antonio. And with that, we're going to be about called. Yeah, about 16 minutes right here. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to the UFM, the United Football Media Group. If you're not following them, you should if you like football. Big shout out to everybody here who's made content here with the UFM, the Defending Football Show. Tell me about it. We got the San Antonio Bahamas bullpen as well as the Caballeros. They're actually figuring that out. I'm not 100% sure if they're going to be playing games this season. Big shout out, Defenders Football Show, as well as the Roughnecks Rundown from Ace, our captain, our fearless captain here, as well as Brandon over there for the Captain's Log. You got here the Michigan Panthers podcast as well. I am FBI_Tugboat. You should follow all of those entities as well if you want to. No big deal. But I'm FBI Tugboat, and I will catch you on the flip side.